Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now you think that February is a dead month, but no. In this video, I'm gonna give you the top 10 things as a gardener you should have on your February to-do list. That's right, today's video is all about my to-do list that I'm sharing with you that I think will be helpful of these 10 things that you need to focus on as a gardener for the month of February. So many times we think that summer, June, July, and August is like the heavy season, and that's the only time we have something to do. But I'm here to let you know that if you do these 10 things on my list in February, you're gonna set your garden up for success in the summer months. So if you're brand new to me, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee, and I'm in zone 7B. But it doesn't matter what zone I'm in, you can still follow these 10 tips that I'm gonna share in the video today. I have been gardening for 5 years, but let me tell you, when I started, I had never ever put my hands in dirt. But since then, I have grown a love and a passion when it comes to gardening. And that's why I'm on YouTube, to share my passion with you and to inspire you to grow food, to preserve food, to live a more sustainable life. That is why I show up each and every week on YouTube, because I want to help you live a more sustainable life. And so if that's your jam and that's what you're about, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to make sure that you get all the notifications, that you don't miss a video. And for those of you that have been around and this is not your first video, just say hello to me in the comments so I can say hello back to you. And if you're new, definitely say hello and let me know what state or country you're coming in from. One thing about YouTube, it has a thing called the algorithm. And for whatever reason, I think that my videos are not being shown as broadly as they used to before. So definitely engage in the comments. Make sure that you're subscribed and make sure that you're seeing all the videos. If for some reason you've been having an issue, let me know down in the comments below. But y'all, let's jump in. Before we jump into the top 10 things, I want to do a quick reminder, because at the time of this video, you only have 2 days left to register for the seed starting workshop that I'm doing this Sunday on February the 8th. It will be virtual from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. These are for the people that don't know how to start their own seeds, or you have tried, but for whatever reason, you get the seed in the soil, but it doesn't make it out to your garden. There's always an issue with your transplanting. They get leggy, you have mold, they die, they damp off. Whatever the case may be, if you are challenged when it comes to seed starting, sign up for the workshop. The link will be in the first comment below. You only have 2 days left to register. The workshop is virtual, but I will be live in my greenhouse, in my high tunnel. So I will be there live to show you step by step and go through all the things, and I'll be able to answer your questions live. So you don't want to miss it. Plus, I have created a beautiful, extensive seed starting digital guide that goes along with the class. Now, if for some reason you don't do the class and you want to just buy the digital guide, that will be available on Monday. But I'm going to tell you, if you need to have hands-on, hear me say it, see me do it, and ask questions, then register for the workshop. It is February the 8th, this Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. So let's get into these top 10 things that you need to be doing in the month of February. Y'all, every month I look at my plans and what the garden needs, and I kind of write out a to-do list of what I need to be focused on that month. I do that for my garden. I do that for my farm business. I do that for my HR business. I do it for life. You might just say, girl, you got a lot of lists going on. And I do. But you know what? It works for me because I thrive. Well, first of all, before I thrive, if it's not written down, it's not happening. It's like it's in outer space. It's not attainable. It's not happening. So I have to write things down. But all I'm simply doing, and I started this a few months ago and you guys seem to like it, is the list that I'm sharing with you is really my list. And so if you're a gardener like me, I think that you can benefit and do these exact same things. So let's kick it off with number one. The number one thing, or one of the things that you need to be doing in the month of February, is you need to be starting your seeds. That is the first thing, right? And these are in no particular order, but that's number one, is to be starting your seeds indoors in this month. So no matter what zone you're in, 5 all the way to zone 10, this is the month that you're starting seeds. Now, some of you have already started, depending on when your last frost date is, and then some of you will be starting maybe this week. But everyone that is a gardener should be starting seeds indoors this month in February. If this is all brand new to you and you're like, I don't know how to start seeds, I have a workshop that you can do. If you're like, I don't know when to start my seeds or what's the right timing, I have a seed starting calculator. You can get that in my shop. If you're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know what I don't know, then that's why you keep tuning into YouTube. And every single week on YouTube, we are doing a seed starting weekly challenge. That means every single week I'm starting seeds. I'm sharing with you what I'm starting and why, and then you can start seeds right along with me. So we have plenty of resources if you don't know what to do. But number one is you should be starting your seeds indoors. Definitely if you're doing any type of herbs like eucalyptus, lavender, parsley, oregano, thyme, all of those take quite a bit of time to grow. So you're gonna start with those herbs right there. Versus when things like basil and sage, they don't take as long. So you're gonna start them a little bit later on in the seed starting season. But in February, you want to make sure that you got your herbs, the ones that I mentioned, you have those started. And then of course you will be starting your other things like your tomatoes, your peppers, your eggplants, and things like that. So number one is start your seeds indoors. Number two, in the month of February, you should be direct sowing your cool season crops. Things like peas, carrots, radishes, spinach. Those things like to be direct seeded. Even your beets, things that are a cool season. So that's what we kind of call our spring planting, so to speak. So let me jump back to number one right quick. So when I talked about number one, starting your seeds indoors, that's going to be for your summer crops, but that's also for any spring crops that you're doing, like your brassicas, your broccoli, your cabbage, and your cauliflower. Those things should have been started, or they should be started in the month of February if you want to have a successful harvest in terms of your spring garden, okay? But when it comes to number two, I'm talking about the things that need to be direct sown that are cool season crops. So your brassicas, your broccoli, your cabbages, and your cauliflower are cool season crops, but you're going to start those seeds indoors, which is number one. Number two is the cool season crops that prefer or that need to be direct sown. That means in the ground. You're not going to start it indoors. You're just going to go out there to your soil and put a seed in the ground. That's your carrots, your beets, your peas, and your radishes. Those are the things you should be doing in the month of February. I know for me, because I have a high tunnel, my spring garden is really my fall and winter garden because I've already been growing those cool season crops because I have a high tunnel or a greenhouse. But I will be doing a second planting of carrots and radishes for the spring. And so I will be direct sowing those this month of February. Also, I want to try peas for the first time. I've never done peas before in terms of like the shelling peas or whatever. Let me know if there's a good variety that you guys recommend. I've never done it before. I don't even know if I like them, but everybody just be walking through their garden like they're in the meadow, chewing and eating their peas. And I'm like, well, I want to walk through the meadow. I want to eat some snap peas and see if I like it. They just be talking about, oh, it's so crunchy and it's so sweet. Is it really? Well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to find out for myself. So I want to do some. So let me know a variety down in the comments below. So number one, you're going to be starting your seeds indoors. Number two, you're going to be direct sowing your cool season crops. Now let's move on to number three. Okay, so number three is you should be testing your soil in the month of February. For a lot of us, the weather hopefully is starting to take a turn and go from frigid to pleasant. I know for us in Tennessee, the weather today is very, very nice. And for the next 10-day forecast, we have temperatures in the 60s, which is awesome after being in the teens. And so this will be a good time to test my soil at some point this month. I know for us, the weather will start to change and not be as cold. Now, if you're in a climate to where it is still very frigid, and it'll be frigid the whole month of February, then maybe you wait until March. But for most of us, February is a month to start testing your soil. I just ordered my soil test kits. They just came actually this week. And so I will be doing an upcoming video about how I'm testing my soil, what the results are and all of that. But that is definitely on my to-do list, is getting my soil tested. I do this every single year, and every year I try to expand somewhat. So this year I actually bought 4 soil test kits. I normally do 1, and then I did 2 last year, but I'm doing 4 because I want to do my orchard where my fruit trees are that we just planted in the fall. I'm going to do my outside garden. I'm going to do the high tunnel, and then I'm also going to do out here in my third space, which is behind my house. So that's the first time I've ever done all those spaces, but that is definitely on my list for February. So now let's talk about number 4, which is you should be prepping your garden beds. Getting your beds ready for the spring and the summer. If you're not doing a spring garden, meaning a lot of the cool season things, and you're just going to jump into the summer in the April, May timeframe, you still need to be prepping your beds and making sure that you're getting those things turned over in the month of February. So what does that look like? For me, when it comes to prepping my beds, the soil test is my first thing so that I know what my beds need. So I do my soil test, I get the results, and I know what nutrients or amendments. But when it comes to prepping my beds, I'm going to put in a fresh layer of compost in all of my planting spaces. I'm going to add some worm castings in. Right? I'm going to make sure that all of the dead stuff is out and just make it all like brand new again. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to top off any soil. As you know, soil can get displaced or it kind of goes down, especially in your raised beds over time. And so there's some places where I need to kind of top off my soil and put more soil up to the top, add in my worm castings, add in my compost, so it's all like brand new. The other thing is that if you have green stalks like me, then you want to be prepping your green stalks for the spring and the summer. And so I'll be talking about how I do that as well. And with green stalks, again, I don't necessarily buy all new soil for my green stalks. I kind of do a mixture that I'll kind of share in an upcoming video. But also don't forget about your green stalks. So your garden beds and your green stalks. And while we're on green stalks, let me share this in case you did not see my post. Green Stalk just launched a brand new color today. It is called Strawberry Pink, and it looks just like strawberry pink. I will pop a picture up here so that you can see it. It is beautiful. Now, I don't have one to show you in person because I had to show some restraint, right? I have 3 green stalks that I have not set up that's going to be set up for the spring and the summer. So I dared not add another one, okay? I dared not add another one. I got 3 brand new green stalks that you guys have not seen that need to be set up. And so I did not get the strawberry pink, but here's a picture up here so that you can take a look at it. She is beautiful. And so that new color launched today, as well as they brought back lemon from last year. You guys know I have a lemon and I love it. She is beautiful. And so if you're interested in those, they are out there. Also, they're having a BOGO sale on the 3-tier planters. So you can buy one, get one free, but it has to be the same color and the same texture. You can use my code LFF10 for an extra $10 off, okay? So you're gonna get it for the low. So let's say you need one and your friend needs one, and y'all both happen to like the same color. Y'all can go, what my daughter calls, you can go halfsies, right? Somebody makes the order, and then you can cash out the other person you have. So again, you're getting it at a really good deal. Plus you can use my code LFF10 for an extra $10 off. So all good stuff. That sale is going to run from today until February the 16th. Okay. So mark your calendars, go to thegreenstock.com after this video and go check it out. Okay. So now we're on number 5. Number 5, we're talking about the top 10 things you need to be focused on in the month of February if you are a gardener. Number 5 is pruning your orchard. So if you have an orchard, you have fruit trees, this is the time to prune. Now, this is on my list, but I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm doing because I've never done it before. So if you're new here, we just planted, I think, 13 fruit trees back in the fall for the very first time. And then we have another probably 10 or so fruit trees left to be planted in the spring. And so they need to be pruned. Do I know what to do? No, I don't. And what I don't know, and I need to do some research on, because my trees are new, do they need to be pruned? I don't know. Maybe that's for like more established trees. If you know, put it down in the comments. But it's on my list so that I don't forget to research that and to make sure that if I need to get it done, that I will get it done. But if you definitely have established fruit trees, this is the time to be pruning your trees in your orchard to get them ready to start bearing for the spring and the summer. Okay, so let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is all about your tools and setup. So when it comes to your tools, you want to make sure, and I've kind of talked about this for the last couple of months, but if you're like me, hey, you take what you can and do what you can do that month, and then sometimes things roll over to the next month. So this may be a rollover for some of you. It may be brand new to the rest of you, but get your tools in order. That means make sure that your tools, that you know where they are, that they're sharpened. If you need to put some WD-40 because you left them outside all summer and they're all rusty and crusty, make sure that you get them all lined up, nice and ready to go again. Make sure that you're cleaning out your trays and your pots before you're starting seeds. Do not transfer new soil and new seeds into old crusty pots that you used last summer that you have not cleaned. Clean your stuff. So clean your trays, get your tools sharpened, get your tools back shiny, looking like new. Make sure you know where your tools are. That's for me, but it may touch you as well because, y'all, I've been looking for my hori hori, which is like a Japanese weeding knife. I've been looking for my hori hori for the last 2 to 3 months. And I ordered me another because I just could not find it. I absolutely have to have me a hori hori. Like it's one of my valuable tools in the garden. So I ordered me a brand new one. And how about the brand new one came and the next day I found my hori hori? How about that? I'm gonna keep the new one so that way I have two. But I'm like, where is my stuff? But that's just a lack of organization, y'all. So make sure you know where your stuff is. Make sure that you have multiple pruners. If you're like me, your pruners have legs. They get up and walk. They be trying to go to the store. They be trying to go to church. They be trying to go, sit down. I need the pruners to stay at the garden, okay? So if you're like me, have multiple pairs of pruners. Get your labels, right? Get labels. I just ordered me some brand new labels. I just ordered me some new vermiculite. So all the tools, all the supplies that you need to start seeds for your garden. I also just ordered me a ton of compost. I just ordered a ton of amendments that I know for a fact that I will need. And so get your stuff in order. This is the month to do it, okay? That is number 6. Number 7 is planning. I've talked about this before, but again, for some of you, and including me, you may not be done with your garden plan yet. What do I mean when I say a garden plan? That means knowing where your stuff is gonna go. Like you gonna tell it where it's gonna go, and it's not like, oopsies, like, oh, I got 15 tomatoes, but I don't have but 1 container left. No, ma'am, no, sir. We want to plan. You plan before you plant. Now, if you need help with that, I have a tool for that as well, because I'm all about giving you and ushering you into the no excuse zone. Here is a channel of solutions. We don't just talk about our problems. We don't talk about excuses. We're going to talk about real solutions. So if you need a solution for garden planning, I have a whole garden planning digital workbook that I put together that so many of you have bought and given rave reviews on that will help you plan your garden. It is in the shop. It's $19. Go and grab the garden planning workbook. It walks you through how to plan your garden. If you don't want my workbook, then get you some paper, get you a chalkboard, get you on the back of a napkin and write down the space that you have and what's going to go in each space. I promise you, you will thank yourself for doing that. So that way you don't have an excess of transplants, an excess of seedlings that you have nowhere to put, or you don't have all this space that you're like, oh man, now I got to go buy 15 transplants if I want to fill up this space. And you got to spend money because you did not plan appropriately on how many things to start in your garden. So definitely planning. The other thing I'll say about planning is making sure that you're doing crop rotation. And so have that as a part of your plan. That means if you planted corn in this row right here last year, move the corn to another row and put some squash there. So rotate your crops as much as possible. That is going to help you with biodiversity. It's going to help you with building your soil. And it's going to also help you with pest pressure. So make sure that you're factoring in crop rotation. Okay. The other thing is, when it comes to planting, is if you still need more seeds, then go ahead and order your seeds in the month of February. Because once you look at your plan, and I'm in the same situation, y'all, same situation. I thought today I should have ordered me some more eucalyptus. Now I bought 3 packs of eucalyptus, but they're all gone with the seeds that I started last week. And I thought to myself, you should have some extra. So I got to make me another seed order, okay? Because when I started planning and laying some stuff out, I'm like, oh, I need some extra of this and some extra of that. In an effort to like try to stay on budget, not spend so much money. But now it's stressing me out because I'm like, well, in some areas, I'm like, I have just enough. And as a gardener, we can't have just enough. I live in the world of abundance. So I'm going to need 15 packs and not 2 packs, okay? But that's my story. That don't have to be your story, okay? So that is number 6 is planning. That was number 7 was planning. Okay, so now let's talk about number 8, which is composting. So if you have a compost pile and you've ignored it all winter, I'm guilty. I haven't been going out there feeding the compost, giving it any scraps because it's been cold. So I am guilty as charged. But this is the month I need to start back paying attention to my compost. So I need to turn my piles over. I need to add more stuff to the compost. The stuff that has broken down, I need to get that out and use it, right? Don't just let it sit there. I need to go check and put my eyes on my compost pile. And so if you already have a compost pile, do the exact same thing. Go put your eyes on it. Start adding your food scraps back into it. Turn it over. Add some water to it. And if you have not done composting and you don't have a compost pile, this is the month to start one, okay? So there's many options when it comes to compost. You can do something as simple as a Rubbermaid tote, to building something outside, to having a heap or a pile off on the side of your property, to buying a tumbler, to buying something very nice. I have done a lot of different options. So I have a tumbler in my backyard, and then I have a very nice compost bin out by the greenhouse from Vigo Garden. So figure out what works best for you. So one, if you have a compost pile, make sure that you're turning it over and start adding stuff back to it. If you don't have a compost pile, this is the month to start your compost pile. Okay, so let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is one that I've kind of titled just checking around the homestead and homestead miscellaneous. And so what I mean by that, number 1, I want you to start with your pantry. So your long-term pantry, your short-term pantry, your freezers. Basically, I want you to make sure that you have an inventory of what you have, things that you need to eat up so that you can make room for the new produce that's going to be coming in the summer. So if you use a lot of your freezer space and you still have tons of salsa or jams or summer veggies that you haven't eaten, make a concerted effort to try to get that stuff whittled down so that you have a place to put your new summer stuff. So just kind of take a visual inventory of what you have, what you need to order more of. Also, that may inform you of what you need to grow more of. So let's say that you did not have enough sauce and you guys ran out of salsa or spaghetti sauce back in October. That may inform you that you need to grow more tomatoes this year so that you can have more salsa, more spaghetti sauce. So look at your stuff and see what you have. That's number 1. Also under Homestead Miscellaneous, think about any type of bee equipment. Now, I've told you guys that we are preferably getting bees for the first time on the homestead this spring. We have placed an order for bees. We picked them up, I think, sometime in March or April, if I'm not mistaken. And then we also got our first round of bee equipment in that I'm going to do an unboxing and show you on an upcoming video. So we are excited, but ignorant and excited because I know nothing about bees at all. And really it's my husband's thing that I am going to be supporting from what you call afar, okay? Afar, because bees and I, we don't really coexist well, okay? I have a really bad reaction when I get stung by a bee, so I really just try to stay out their way. But we are getting bees. And so again, if you're getting bees for the first time, or if you're ordering more hives, this is the time to do it, whatever your supplier is. So that's another thing under Homestead Miscellaneous. If you have animals and cattle, we don't have animals on our homestead besides our dogs, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you have chickens and horses and cattle and cows and goats and things like that that you need to tend to for the spring, or order more, food or anything that you need to do for that, then this is the time to do it. So just take a look around your homestead on the miscellaneous side and see what needs to be shored up, tidied up, and done. This is the month to get it done, okay? And so now we're down to the very last one, and this is something new that I want to encourage you to do. I'm calling it a weekly focus, right? And so what this is to kind of just break things down into bite-sized pieces. All of you are busy, I know. Okay, some of you right now may be listening to me in your ear while you're washing dishes. You could be in the car picking up your kids from school. Anything could be going on, but I know if you're like me, you're always trying to maximize your time and your efficiency. And so I thought I would challenge you to have a weekly focus. So think about the 9 things that I just kind of gave out on the list. And some of them have layers to it. I want you to think about what is one thing that you can focus on each week to get it done. So maybe week 1 for you is, okay, this weekend I'm gonna take the time to get my trays cleaned up. Next week, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I make a meal plan that uses up all of the extra freezer stuff. No matter what it is, I want you to have a weekly focus for the month of February. That doesn't mean that you only have to do one thing. You may can do 2 or 3 things, but have a dedicated focus for the week, each week of the month. So that way you feel like I can just make little small steps that's gonna lead me to bigger change. Don't try to bite all 10 things off in one weekend, because more than likely you don't have the capacity or the bandwidth to do that. So pick out what you're gonna focus on each week. I'm gonna be doing that, and I want you to do the same. I know for me, I have some upcoming travel, and so there's gonna be like a week in the month of February that I'm really just gonna miss, that I'm gonna not be on my homestead, so I can't do homestead things, right? And so I've already calculated that, and so for me, I'm gonna have to do some double and some extra time for the times that I am at home versus the time that I am away. And so I'm having to plan my schedule accordingly. But had I not sat down to look at my month, I would not have been able to do that, okay? So what I wanna know from you is, out of these 10 things that I gave today, that if you're a gardener, you should be focused on, I wanna know what resonated with you. What is the one thing that you took away like, yep, Barbara, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm so glad you did this video. I'm gonna make sure that I do X, Y, and Z. I got it down. Or let me know what your weekly focus is for next week if you want to pick. So let's run through them again, all 10 from top to bottom. Number 1, start your seeds indoors. Number 2, direct sow your cool season crops. Number 3, get your garden beds, number 3 was test your soil. Number 4 was get your garden beds prepped. Number 5 is prune your fruit trees if you have an orchard. Number 6, make sure that your tools and setup is ready to go. Number 7, have a garden plan. Number 8, your compost. So revive your compost or start a new compost pile. Number 9 was Homestead miscellaneous. Take a look around your homestead and see what needs to be done. And then number 10, break these things down and have a weekly focus for each week of this month. Those are your 10 things that I want you to be focused on. I really believe that if you do those 10 things, that you're gonna set yourself up for success. And I think by having the weekly focus, you can literally take this big mountain and just put it in bite-sized chunks, because those little small steps are going to matter, especially when it comes to the summer garden. So let me know in the comments what part was most helpful for you. Remember all of the resources that I shared: the seed starting workshop, the seed starting calculator, the garden planning workbook, the BOGO sale at Green Salt Garden. Go back, get all your links, do all the things, and I cannot wait to meet you guys in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if this is the content that you like to rock with. And remember, y'all, this is a journey. Let's do it together. I'll see you in the next video, friend.